Everybody, how you guys doing? Back again, your boy Tony from Cali once again. We have a lot of things that we want to talk about. I have not been in the loop lately because I've been monitoring all the news, and then I broadcast it to you a little later. Sometimes I bring you news that happened maybe a couple months ago. It could be a couple weeks ago, but it doesn't matter. I get the news to you. That's what broadcasting is all about. We don't always have to get it to you that particular day. We don't have to get it to you that particular hour. We don't have to do it live, but we get the news out to you. A lot of stories that I've been putting out lately about different events. You got good events and you got bad events. I've been posting a lot of bad events lately just to show you guys what's going on in the world. A lot of people don't understand what's going on in the world. Sometimes I might post some technical information about technology, and that's cool, robotics and AI technology and all that kind of stuff. But right now, today, we're going to talk about, this is actually World Broadcast News. World Broadcast News stands for, well, WBN, that's my network, okay? WBN, whenever you see that, it stands for World Broadcast News, okay? It's a brother that's producing a news show on a budget, okay? We're not spending thousands and thousands of dollars. We're using whatever we have, whatever kind of video cameras we have. A lot of times I might have a camera that's 10, 20 years old that I'm actually using to make my video my video with, okay? So it's not about what you have, okay? You can use your phone, your iPhone, your Android phone. I used to use my Android, what did I have back in the day? I had a bunch of Android phones that I used to use to make my videos, okay? Like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I used to use a lot of Android phones. And then before that, I was using a lot of the small little pocket cameras. Okay, we're not going to get into that. I'm not going to go into technology. So what I want to talk about is Morocco. Okay, Morocco. They had tragedy. I don't know the exact number now, but I know it was in the thousands. Okay, and last I checked, it was like I can't even remember the number. So you guys need to look up the update and figure out what's going on. But I think it was like 5,000 people who died in the earthquake. And I've been meaning to make this video. I wanted to make it as soon as that happened, actually. And right after that happened, Libya, okay? Libya, there was thousands of people who died in that. I think it was like 11,000. 11,000 people. Imagine in one day, 11,000 people passing away. And what I wanted to say to all the families, once again, my condolences go out to all the families, of course, but looking at it from another whole spectrum, which a lot of people are not looking at this from, is that we are spiritual beings. If we're spiritual beings and we are to live forever, then those people are still living forever, okay, in spirit, not in the flesh that we are in that right now, not in our fleshly bodies. So when someone passes away, a lot of people, they're down and they're sad, and we all go through that. I've been through that too. I've had loss. My mom passed away 2 years ago, and I've had a lot of friends that passed away as well. But when you look at it from a spiritual standpoint, we're spiritual beings and we live forever. We're just in a different body. And I had some I was going to go into a whole analogy of how it kind of works, the body. I guess I can still do that. Let me show you real quick. This is a hard drive, okay? This is what a hard drive looks like. If you're looking at a small laptop hard drive or something like that, okay? This is a small hard drive. This is Toshiba hard drive. It doesn't matter whether it's Seagate, Western Digital, or whatever. This is a small hard drive that would go in a laptop or an external hard drive that you would use on your computer. Anyway, I took it out of the case. I was looking for the case. I don't know where the case is right now, but I wanted to kind of emphasize that this hard drive was not working in the case. It died. It died just like us dying in our bodies. So I took it out of the case, which is like our body. I took it out of the case, plugged it up, and it started working. Amazing. Amazing, right? Because the spirit of this hard drive is still good. So that's my analogy, my sample for today. A hard drive, okay? Now, it may not be an accurate sample of what I'm trying to illustrate here. But the point is that the spirit lives forever. It's a matter of where the spirit is living. So when we look at all these people that passed away, we look at thousands of people that died in Morocco. Over 5,000, I know I'm pretty sure. Double check, just to make sure I'm sure. But over 5,000 people died in Morocco. Over 11,000 people died in Libya. That was a couple weeks ago. Okay. So I wanted to point that out. It was hurting. It's been bothering me for a while when that happened. I was like, wow. I was like, just really sad by that. And then I started praying. I did a lot of praying and thinking about it and stuff. And I said, you know what? Those people are still alive. Their spirit. You got women, you got children, you got, all those people that got crushed and stuff. Their bodies are no longer, but their spirit is still alive. Now, where does the spirit go? That's what we're going to talk about. A lot of people don't want to believe in the Bible. They don't want to believe in God. Okay, if you don't want to believe in that, that's fine. I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm just letting you know this is what my belief is. My belief is, when I hit my microphone, my belief is that the spirit lives on. And if the spirit lives on, then they're still alive. All those people, all those children, a lot of people, they talk about resurrection, people, through different religion, and people talk about reincarnation. I don't believe in the reincarnation, but I do believe in that the spirit lives on. So if the spirit lives on, all those people are still alive. And what I wanted to emphasize is that you might be sad for a while. Everyone's going to be sad. Everybody's going to grieve. Everybody's going to go through things. I understand that. I'm not telling you not to grieve, but look at it on a larger scale, where if the spirit lives on, now they're in a better place. Maybe they're in a happier place. Maybe they were suffering. Maybe they're not suffering anymore. And at the same point of this whole conversation is that we are in our last days. That's why I'm making this video. This is World Broadcast News. I'm making it based on my opinions, my analytics, my investigation of all the news stories that I put out. If you see me put out news stories throughout the day, which you will, World Broadcast News is consistently putting out stories. Maybe one day I'll miss it. I won't put out so many stories. I'll take a break. But most of the time I put out stories, and most of the stories I've been putting out lately is dealing with tragic loss, because I want you to know that the spirit lives on. A lot of people are losing their kids. A lot of kids are perishing. In the last couple weeks, it's just been hitting me every day. In their teens, 14, 15, 10-year-old. There was a 10-year-old girl that got shot, I think, the other day. Very tragic. 10-year-old girl. And then there was a 14-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old girl. She got shot after school, walking home with her brother. I think she was taken up for her brother, and some guys wanted to mess with them, and she got killed. She was 16 years old. Okay, so out here in Rio Linda a couple days ago in Sacramento, that's where I'm at. I think there was a 16-year-old or 17-year-old, 16-year-old, I think it was 15-year-old. I can't even remember anymore. I put out so many stories, but he was in that it was between 15 and 16, and he got shot at, I think, right by his house out in Rio Linda. And there's been more and more ongoing shootings. I've been up all morning looking at other 16, 17-year-olds, and they're shot by their same age bracket. I think the guy who killed the 16-year-old, he was a 17-year-old. He was a 17-year-old, the girl that was in high school, and he was 17 years old. And then there was a couple other guys. They were 16, 17. So people are losing their life every day, and it's very tragic. It's very sad. We're going to grieve over it, of course, but if the spirit lives on, that means they're still living somewhere. They're just not in that body. So now we come to the point of, if they're not in that body and the spirit's living on, where are they? And where are they going to continue to live? And where are we going to continue to live when we leave? When I leave this body, where am I going to be? Okay. So, like I said, my belief, and I believe that, the spirit will live on, and that we are going to be judged. Okay. And we, like I said, God gave us this gift that we would live forever. That was the gift, that we were going to live forever. But a lot of people don't believe that, but I do. And he says, well, you have a choice. You can live forever with me, or you can live forever with Satan. So you have that choice to make. And I choose to live with God. So I tell you guys, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I keep that, that is my foundation. I haven't always lived right. I haven't always lived perfect. I constantly on a daily basis, I repent for my sins. And, when I leave this body, I plan to live with Jesus. I plan to live in the kingdom. I plan to live happily ever after in a, what do they call it? A glorified body. So if I'm going to live in a glorified body, and I'm going to be happy, and there's no sickness, there's no more shootings, there's no more robberies, there's no more all these things that are happening. And you see me post them every day through World Broadcast News. And I post them for a reason, to let you guys know that we are in the last days, and things are happening, and people are shooting people over everything, over anything and everything. Parking spots. I think I posted some stuff today. A woman got shot in the head, and she wasn't the cause. It was their boyfriend who was arguing over the parking spot, and he got shot at. He got injured a little bit, but she got shot directly in the head, and she died. And even if she died, where's her spirit? Okay. So that's what this is all about. This video is, like I said, long overdue, and I've created it so that we could actually kind of move on in our lives, and kind of realize where we are. And when we look at our children, and we look at, hey, are they going to live forever? No, they're not. Are we going to live forever? No, we're not. But, to be thankful, to be grateful for each day that we wake up, I think that's the most important thing. And we have not accomplished that. Most of us are still trying to gravitate towards the riches of this earth. We want this and we want that, and we're trying to think about what we're going to do next year, and we're going to do this and that's, planning. I don't, condone that. I plan. I like to do things too. I like to put together cameras. I've been putting together some old cameras and trying to build up my little, history of cameras and computers. So, the planning is always going to be it's part of our nature, I guess, to plan. But not to go overboard. And that's what this is all about. Not to go overboard, and not to think that we're invincible. That we are going to live forever, because that's not going to happen. And a lot of us think that we're going to live forever, and we're going to, we have plans, and the children, of course, have plans. They want to be big football players, and they want to do all these things. And then these kids are just passing away like that. 10, 12 years old, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old children. I remember when I was at that age, I had a lot of fun in high school and junior high, and I remember the things that I was able to do, and these kids are not making it. They're not graduating. I think there was a high school football game, matter of fact, last night, and there was a big fight that broke out at a high school football game, and fortunately nobody got hurt or killed, but there was a big fight that broke out. People probably got hurt a little bit, and there was threats, and they had to shut the football game down, and it was 6 minutes before the game ended, so they had to shut the game down. And there's been a lot of brawls where people have been getting beat up at the professional football games, and I think one guy got killed a couple days ago at the football game. So all these things are happening. People are getting killed everywhere, anywhere, over fast food. There was I posted this morning, and it was an older story, but a woman, She was working at a fast food restaurant, and she pulled her gun out and started shooting at the person in the drive-thru. The person didn't, their fries didn't get the curly fries. They wanted curly fries. It was Jack in the Box. Yeah, it was Jack in the Box. And she wanted, the guy said, hey, I didn't get my curly fries. And she started arguing with the guy. And then he said, and then she started throwing ketchup packages and stuff at him and all this kind of stuff. And he threw stuff back at her. And next thing you know, she pulled her gun out. They show her in broad daylight, just pulling her gun out, shooting at him. So people in fast food they're carrying guns. People in every industry, they're carrying guns. I mean, you don't even have to be high school kids are carrying guns, okay? So it's just last days. That's what this is all about, last days. And this video is to let everybody know, get right with the Lord. I tell everybody that, get right with the Lord. Once again, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And I just try to post the news as possible. I am a broadcaster, and most of all, a happy, humble, holy servant of the Lord. So if I'm a servant of the Lord, I have to put this message out there, and that's what this message is about. It's not about me getting famous or getting any type of glory or anything like that. I don't ask for anything except for if you guys do want to donate and you like some of the things that maybe I've said in my channel, or maybe I've helped you in some way, you can donate still. I will put that out there. It's Cash App, $ Tony McDew. That's if you go to the Cash App, you go to my Cash App, it's $ Tony McDew. I'll probably put that in the description. Maybe have it pop up in the edit. We'll see. But it's $ Tony McDew. That's it, right? Your Cash App, $ Tony McDew. If you guys want to donate, that would any and everything would help. And I, like I said, I haven't made a video in several months. And the reason I haven't made a video is because, I had planned. Like I said, sometimes your plans do not work out the way you want them to. They don't always work out. Okay, I had planned to do some crazy stuff. I love my special effects, and I was working on a lot of different special effects like I usually do in some of my videos. And I said, you know what? Every time I plan on working on something like that, all these stories start to come out. And I, from my nature as a independent broadcaster, okay, I'm an independent journalist, basically. Okay, an independent journalist. I'm not the man on the street anymore where I'm out there interviewing people every day. I figure this is going to be my platform right here, is to bring the news to you. I'm going to post the stories. You're going to constantly still see me post stories day and day and day. And if I can give you a message with the stories, then that's going to be part of my broadcasting. I don't have time to travel. I don't have the resources, and I really don't want to get out there anymore. I really don't. My the days of me running around and trying to be an independent journalist and talking to people and all this kind of stuff, I think those days are pretty much over. I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna do it again, but looking at my history and looking at what's going on in the world, I don't want to be dragging out cameras and going out trying to have to worry about my cameras and worrying about this and my environment. And I'm not physically able to travel as much as I used to. I'm a lot older. Just hit 60 in June, so several months ago. So I'm like, no, I will be doing my independent broadcasting right here from the studio. Okay, and when I say right here, it doesn't necessarily mean right here. I'm right here in Sacramento right now, but I could be anywhere. I could be on the side of a building. I could be at McDonald's. I could be somewhere else. Don't get me wrong. I do have some smaller cameras and stuff that I can take with me and give you guys some broadcasting news, and I may do that. That goes back to Bro Life. Okay, this will be Bro Life 28. We'll go ahead and add that to it, because what I'm doing is I'm combining the networks. We still have HPTV. HPTV that's basically when I'm out in the street helping people TV. HPTV, okay, helping people TV. Then we got World Broadcast News. World Broadcast News is what I'm doing now. I'm giving you a kind of a summary of what I've been posting. You know, all the news shows and all the news events that's going on in the world. So that's part of world broadcast news, because it's not just in Sacramento, it's not just in Las Vegas, it's everywhere. It might be Memphis, it might be Dallas. A lot of stuff's been happening in Atlanta, a lot of stuff's been happening in Dallas, Houston, I mean, just everywhere. So that's world broadcast news, okay? World broadcast news, remember that name, okay? And if you like what I'm saying, if you like some of the things I'm telling you about the stories, you know, you can donate. Cash App, $ Tony McDew. Once again, Cash App, $ Tony McDew. So we're going to end this video. I'm not going to make it too long, because this video is basically about my opinion. It's about what I believe. It's about what I'm trying to do to help, you know, the community, society. This is kind of a give back, you know, kind of a look at your life situation. And realize where you are, realize what's going on in your life, and don't stress on so many things that's going on in the world and things like that. So that's what this video is about. It's an encouraging video, hopefully. It's not to depress anybody and get everybody down. A lot of the stories that I post, they may be depressing, yes, and I understand a lot of people don't want to watch a lot of these things that's happening, but hey, I got to put it out there, because I'm an independent journalist, right? I'm an independent broadcaster, not broadcaster, broadcaster, not broadcaster, broadcaster. And once again, my definition of broadcaster is that I'm going to be giving you news that may happen 2 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe even a year. I might give you some news of things that are happening that kind of pertain to what's happening now. And even the local news, they do the same thing. They may show you a story that happened 2 years ago, and they may show you today, because it relates. It may be a court case. It might be somebody just getting sentenced for, which I've seen that happen recently. People are getting sentencing for something they did 2, 3 years, 5 years ago. Okay, so, and when I show you news, it relates to what's happening today. Just because somebody got killed a year ago, 2 years ago, it doesn't matter that, I mean, it does matter. It does matter that they got killed. And people say, oh, that's not new news. No, it doesn't matter. You may have never seen that. There's a lot of things that I've never seen that I'm just now seeing. There's a lot of people that have got killed, and a lot of people that are being sentenced, and I didn't know who they were. I was like, wow. There was a case yesterday with 2 brothers playing basketball, and I think they didn't get sentenced. They were on trial, and I was like, wow, who are these guys? I'd never seen it before. And it happened like a year ago or something like that. And, you know, so that's what I do as a broadcaster. I'm going to give you news. So don't trip. If it's old, maybe you've seen it before, that's great. Pass it on to someone else. I think that's about it. That's what World Broadcast News stands for. I'm going to be giving you news from all around the world. I don't know what's happening in Ukraine right now. I haven't followed a lot of the politics and stuff. I usually don't talk about too much of the politics stuff. So, you know, if you want to get that information, you got to go to somebody else's, you know, broadcasting network.